Yo, ni anumna for mamuni na akwaba. Yo, hana, yabete say minority abedani majority and a majority abedani minority or parliament house. Na no kopan sembebre edebre. And there's some minority, the majority assembly bekemukina because do about one say na politicians, the politics, hey, Ghana. And no, that's already a speaker of parliament, Honorable Bagbin, or say, oh, here, yes, and chop on in Mayaba. Na yembra no press conference na in press conference we all know what it entails when there's a press conference. So Babin called the media because this majority and minority thing that was happening in parliament, it was bringing a lot of chaos. Now we all know Afeni Markins, yes, he was the one who was the then majority leader for the parliament house for MPP. But when this majority thing came and then he was supposed to they were supposed to change the leadership, make NDC the majority. He didn't want to agree or he didn't want to accept. So this issue was sent to the Supreme Court. Into what they are sending to Supreme Court. And I'm back there, say, hey, yeah, your parliament and can was say Supreme Court. Oh, buyeno. Yeah, mom, na some kit bene ye dimrikane ye Supreme Court. Asem kit bene ye dimrikane ye Supreme Court. Hey, and say never has some Ghana how. Ne mom your kaya ye me de. What Babin said, and I really loved. He said, we have been running to the Supreme Court because the slightest thing that happens, we go to the Supreme Court. Instead of we, the parliamentarians, making the Supreme Court respect us, we always run to them. But he said one key interesting thing that, my friend, he said the president and, the then majority in the parliament house, yes. He said they have to come and apologize to the constitution because they have offended the constitution. I say president and among better constitution, yes. It will so more offended constitution, or more bunny and Ghana had the same to Mrs. You. And some people will cry, I'm a high official Kingsby TV, and Munia Bereko for swimmer. More than one my young Connie and quote near Bagbenkai.
Even leaders of parliament who ought to know better. Parliamentarians who are to be loyal to Parliament rather than to the Supreme Court run to the Supreme Court at the slightest opportunity to use the Supreme Court to undermine Parliament. This might be one of the reasons Parliament and members of Parliament are not respected and treated with disdain. This was exhibited by the president's refusal to even receive the LGBTQ+ bill, duly processed and passed by Parliament without any legal basis. The judiciary is supportive of this conduct by the receipt and processing of a suit on this subject matter. These are dangerous precedents in our democratic journey. Both the president and the judiciary have sinned against the Constitution and must seek the opportunity to confess and repent to be forgiven. I am confident the battles we are fighting today will make our democracy stronger and more vibrant in the future. I believe in the supremacy of the Constitution. Mark my words, the supremacy of the Constitution, not the supremacy of the judiciary or Supreme Court. I also believe in a vibrant parliament that is respected and accorded its due on political questions as long established by law and decided cases. A parliament that understands, reflects, and embodies the will of the people and defends its constitutional prerogatives only works in the interest of Ghana and Ghanaians, not a rubber stamp parliament subservient to the whims and caprices of the executive and or the judiciary. Again, I strongly believe that Parliament was one of the institutions President Barack Obama had in mind when he opined, while in Ghana in 2009, that Africa needs strong institutions and not strong men. I'm happy he didn't add women. Parliament must be strong to perform its legislative function and the indispensable function of holding the president to account. That is the oversight function. No other person or body has the gravitas and constitutional mandate to do so in Ghana. The public, media, civil society, and other partners in governance can make constructive inputs and criticize actions and omissions of arms of government. But these bodies are not constitutionally and legally structured and mandated to hold the executive to account. Parliament is elected. It is, at its best, the will of the people, legally and constitutionally structured and mandated to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, my dream, therefore, is a patriotic one. The existence of a firm, effective, efficient, and responsive parliament whose members place national and constituency interests ahead of narrow partisan or personal interests. At last, this is yet to materialize in Ghana. In the current hung parliament, the new standing orders of parliament had to cater for such a government by a number of provisions in the standing orders. We also provided provisions for all the other options of government that I just explained. For instance, a day which we called a decision day has been designated in the new standing orders, where the Speaker, in consultation with the leadership of the House, will set aside to allow members of Parliament who are ministers and deputy ministers the opportunity to be present in Parliament to be counted in support of government position to ensure government business does not suffer for lack of government members of Parliament in Parliament. Despite the above, often the number of government members present still don't add up due to the nature of the duties and responsibilities of ministers and deputy ministers. The NDC members of Parliament, however, understood the situation and on a daily basis cooperated with the MPP members of Parliament to see government business through. In spite of this, the NDC members are said to be saboteurs of government business by the MPP members of Parliament and the followers of the new patriotic party. Those of you who cover proceedings on a daily basis are witnesses as to how sometimes I have to look at the members of the NDC in a very stern manner which made them give in to their objections, just to get government business going. Ladies and gentlemen, the powers of the judiciary ends where the nose of Parliament starts. The Constitution is very clear on freedom of speech and of proceedings of Parliament. Articles 115 and 116 grant members of Parliament privileges and immunities of speech, debates, and proceedings on any matter or thing brought by a member in or before Parliament by petition, bill, motion, or otherwise. And I want to quote the two articles to you. Article 115. There shall be freedom of speech, debate, and proceedings in Parliament. And that freedom shall not be impeached or questioned in any court or place out of Parliament. Article 116. Subject to the provisions of this article, but without prejudice to the general effect of Article 115 of this Constitution, civil or criminal proceedings shall not be initiated against a member of Parliament in any court or place out of Parliament for any matter or thing brought by him in or before Parliament by petition, bill, motion, or otherwise. This means happenings in Parliament must remain in Parliament. So the court must, and has always been, hesitant to interfere in the proceedings and decisions of Parliament. In the celebrated case of Tufor versus the Attorney General, the Supreme Court affirmed that happenings in Parliament are a closed book. Beloved Ghanaians, democracy will work only if we fight for it, says President Barack Obama of the United States. I swore an oath to uphold, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, and that I will do right to all manner of persons in accordance with the Constitution and the laws and conventions of Parliament, without fear or favor, affection, or ill will. I concluded the swearing of the oath with a call on God to help me. I'm very confident and have faith in God to see me through these dark days of Ghana and our young democracy. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start this presser by disabusing and setting the minds of Ghanaians at ease. There is no constitutional crisis in this country. I repeat, there is no constitutional crisis in this country. The Parliament of Ghana is alive and working. Let nobody mislead, misinform, or disinform you and the country. The democratic system we adopted and enacted, as captured in the Constitution 1992 and fleshed out in various laws, processes, procedures, and practices is what has been triggered, and it is working. Let us allow it to work. Democracy is about the rule of law. Let the law work. The democratic system we adopted and enacted recognizes that in the course of operationalizing the system, disagreements will occur and challenges and problems will arise. The system has put in place mechanisms, structures, and institutions.
Hello guys, you are watching official Kingsbridge TV. Ope lifestyle, Ope talks on history, Ope talks on heritage, culture. The right place to watch official Kingsbridge TV. To YouTube and subscribe to our channel. She said, let's talk segments. You will know everything pertaining our rear and planetary and everything you want to know about marriage and relationship. Kingsbridge TV, moments delivered.